Hello everybody, welcome back to another Immortal Jellyfish video. Today we got the Wizard Kit, and you already know this if you saw my last video. With that said though, if you like these should you buy videos where I get to help save people's Robux, like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. On that note though, let's hop into the pros and cons of the Wizard Kit. Now as we got some Wizard gameplay running in the background, we're going to hop into the 4 pros and then our 4 cons, followed up by my finalized opinion on the Wizard on whether you should or should not buy. Now you don't have to agree with my opinion, it's an opinion and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So yeah, on that note, we're gonna hop right into those pros. So here into our pros, I got my first pro here as AoE damage, area of effect damage, hitting multiple targets, whatever you want to call it. And the reason this is my first pro on my list here is because most things in Bed Wars are single target. Outside of fireballs and TNT, nothing else really hits multiple people. So to have a kit uniquely be able to hit multiple people is pretty interesting. And in my opinion, pretty good to be able to cleave down multiple people at once, especially in like something like squads. It's really decent in my opinion. Second pro is going to be a decent support, and this is where I think a lot of people are looking at Wizard wrong. I think they expect a Wizard to be this fireball, massive lightning strikes, just obliterating people, and I don't feel like this kit really works that way. I feel like this kit fits more in a support role. You know, you see your teammates in, you hit it with a lightning orb or a lightning strike, and then, you know, the enemies are distracted, so they're standing in it. It can't hit your teammates, so yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, it's more of a support role for me. I don't think it's a really crazy offensive rusher like Reaper or Barbarian or something, but it definitely does a good job like assisting your teammate with knocking people down a little bit of health. Probably some little different side support, kind of like Melody, you know, not like necessarily going in all the time, but you know, a little bit of help. But let's get into our third pro before we waste too much time here, and that makes enemies not sure of pushing or standing over their bed. Now, I've noticed a lot with Wizard that even if they have armor or anything, they're a bit more cautious with this. Like, they don't necessarily want to rush you when you're on a bridge or something because they kind of fear the staff. They kind of fear it. Like, you know, you don't want to just stand in it. It's natural to be like, hey, I shouldn't stand in these lightning orbs, or hey, I shouldn't stand in this lightning strike. So you can kind of force your enemies to move as you want them to, which is powerful as well. Now, obviously, like I said, this is not like a big time rushing kit or anything like that. It just kind of gives you some control and some multiple target hitting. And that's going to bring us into our last pro here, and that is you're a wizard, Harry. On that note, let's move into the cons, and we'll go balance these pros out with our cons here. Alright, so headed right into the cons. My first con I've got here is spells feel slow. You throw that orb, and it takes like an eternity to get anywhere. Half the time it'll fizzle out if you're too far away. And then the second spell that feels slow, which is the lightning one that shoots lightning down from the sky, that one feels slow. Like, you throw it on the ground, it starts making all these particles, and anybody, and I mean anybody in the world who sees that is going to walk out of it because it takes like 2 or 3 seconds for it to go off. And yeah, sure, it's a hard-hitting ability, but trying to get somebody to stay in it is really hard. It is really hard. And so yeah, that's our first con. Our second con here is going to be staff feels overpriced. Now, I know 3 emeralds is not a lot. You can rush the middle and get 3 emeralds in the first minute if not contested. Now, if you're contested by other people who have better rushing kits, it's kind of hard to get those 3 emeralds early game. But yeah, 3 emeralds for the staff to me feels a little overpriced. I'd like to either see like 2 emerald price tag on it, or even perhaps maybe, I don't know, maybe even switch it to a higher price of iron. I don't know. Because in my opinion, here's how I look at it. 3 emeralds for this staff, or I could get 1 more emerald and get a diamond sword. And I'm sorry, but a diamond sword that 3 shots guaranteed early game on people without armor, or 4 shots leather armor, is way stronger than what this staff is, and they're about the same price. So yeah, with that though, I think the staff is a little overpriced. And that's going to bring us into our third con, and that is super weak against armor. So this stuff, like the lightning will hit pretty hard, the lightning strike, and the lightning orb does like 3 ticks or something early game. But as soon as somebody puts on armor, you just start noticing the damage on the staff just plummets. Like it falls off hard. And in my opinion, I don't, maybe this would make the class broken, but I don't really feel like armor should affect spells. Like, we're not wearing magical armor. Lightning, if anything, would be more conductive to an iron armor, so I don't know. I don't understand why the spells are so weak against armor, but they are. Like, once somebody gets diamond armor, like, your lightning orb is going to do, like, 1 damage ticks. It'll say 0, but it's actually doing 1 damage. I tested it with a viewer or somebody in my Discord, whatever we want to call them. But yeah, so it's super weak against armor, and that's going to move us into our last con here, and that is cooldowns are really long. Like, you cast a spell, and then you just, like, you have that bar on your screen as a wizard of how much longer you have to wait till you can cast again. And man, that bar feels like it takes forever. Now, you can put your staff away in sword fight while you're waiting for it to recharge, although I think it should be like, they should make the staff charge like the barbarian's bar, so you can just always see where it's at, so that way you know when to pull it back out. In other words, right now it's your best guess when you should pull the staff back out to cast a spell. But yeah, on that note, those are all the pros and cons I have collected for Wizard, and now we're going to move into my final statement on whether you should or should not buy this kit. Okay. We've made it to the end of this video, which means we're at the should you buy or should you not buy part of this video. Now, I think, just top off my head, some people should and some people shouldn't for this kit. But let me explain that so we can get a back reason of why I think some people should and some people shouldn't. So when I think of a wizard or mage, they rain down lightning. And yeah, this kit has the lightning, or like the fire. You know, it doesn't have fire, but it has lightning and it looks cool. You throw that and it's like, oh yeah, baby. You know, it's insane. Like, it looks really cool. It is sick. Probably one of the coolest kit abilities out there right now in the game. But the damage is just not there. Like, the ability's damages aren't that high, especially when somebody slaps on armor. And then with the damage not being super high, comes in the fact that the abilities take really long to cast. Like, you go to throw your lightning and it takes like 2 seconds for it to go off. Most people are going to move out of it. Or, you know, when you cast a spell, it takes like 10 seconds before the cooldown's off so you can cast another spell. This makes the kit fall out of the damage category and down into like a support role for me. And I give it the support role because it's got that area of effect, which means it controls an area, basically, with these abilities. You throw that lightning down, and people don't want to be in it. If you watched any wizard players, or you fought any wizard players by now, you're like, I don't want to be in that lightning. You know, it might hit me for 16 damage or something, right? And then if you get hit by that, he now has the upper hand, right? Because now he has 16 more health than you had. So he gets the upper hand on you. With that, though, most people are going to move out of it because it's slow, which is bad. So you don't get no damage. But this gives you a bonus as the wizard. And this gives you the fact that you get to control that area. And controlling an area is super strong because now your enemies don't want to be in there. And if they do decide that whatever you're doing in that area is worth rushing, they're going to pay for it in damage by getting hit by lightning. Whether that be your orb or the lightning strike. Now this is good because I'm going to put it in a scenario where you can better see it. Imagine you're up there, your teammate's rushing, he's up there fighting with his sword. Or, you know, they're sitting there camping on their bed. Let's say they're camping on your bed, your teammate's rushing down with blocks. You know, he's rushing in. And then you throw lightning over the top of their bed where they're all sitting because they don't want you getting in their bed like normal. So you throw that lightning on top of the bed. Whoop! You throw the little blue orb, it hits the bed. Boom! The lightning starts, the particles start coming up. No, we want to get out of it. We got to get out. We got to. They all run off. Your teammate runs up there, still charging, right? And they're running off that bed because they don't want to get hit by lightning. They don't want to risk the chance of getting knocked off. Your teammate rushes up there and he starts mining their bed. Now you've put the enemy in a predicament where they either have to go in and put themselves at a disadvantage in the fight because they're taking damage from the lightning, or they wait it out and potentially lose their bed. When you look at it in this sense, you're like, wow, wait, hold up. Wizard actually has some use because he can control an area, a specific area, but he can control the area. And with that makes him pretty strong. But now this only makes him strong for a certain type of people. And that's going to be my people who play together a lot, my people either in voice chat with each other, and that's because the wizard's going to have to be like, hey, I'm dropping lightning on the bed, keep rushing it, they're going to probably get off it, or, you know, and then if they don't get off of it, then you pull out your sword and you kill them, right? Because they're going to be down, they're going to be weaker than they used to. And I found out that if you pair a bow with wizard, it's really good. So you throw your lightning, and obviously don't want to be up close, and then you start bowing. That works really good too. And so, yeah, with that control of an area, he fits that niche of being like a support to your rusher. Like Melody, you know, you rush with Melody and Barbarian, you got your support. I could see Wizard fitting in that niche, like support rusher role. Outside of that, I don't think he fits for anybody else. So yeah, should you buy? Maybe worth buying if you rush a lot, but you're like the support rusher. You're not the main rusher on your team, like the guy who's doing all the sword fighting and killing. You're the person who's always trying to get the bed while also side healing or doing whatever you do as a back person, helping your rusher. Your main rusher. And then everybody else I would say probably avoid for now. Now if this kit sees some tweaks, whether buff or nerf, I could see this either becoming a worthless kit if it gets nerfed, which I don't know why it would. And if it gets buffed, I could see this kit actually maybe taking its way up to an actual proper rusher kit. With that said, though, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a lot longer than expected to make on this one. Normally I get these out faster, but I was very conflicted with this kit. It's hard to get a good set feeling on how I feel about it, but I think I'm happy with this. And on that note, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.